Hi everyone, Hazel here again, and I must confess that I've been a little bit distracted today because I was blown away by everybody's response to my last video, which was for days 3 and 4, and I had such lovely comments. I've had a whole bunch of people subscribe to my channel. I'm absolutely over the moon. So I have been just a tad scattered today. I've been paging through everything and responding to people's comments and, toasting myself out in the sun and popping back in again. So yes. However, I did find the time to settle down a little bit and just wondering what to do and how to do tags. Because, as I've mentioned before, actual junk journaling is new to me. I've been doing mixed media for some time, but the junk journaling is new. However, I'm compromising and doing, as you know, the Remembery, which is a journal, but not junk really. Anyway, long story short, I have achieved something today because the next thing that I should have done yesterday, the challenge was tags. So what I've done is I've taken the scraps of paper from my something vintage page where I put in those fashion sketches and the finishing fabric for clothing. So this was on the reverse of that page, and I rather fancied it, so I glued this down onto the brown cardstock and shaped it into tags, and then I've sat and I've kind of sketched with my white gel pen these little sort of scraggly flowers. And I kept thinking, what else can I do? And what are these tags actually for? Where am I going to put them? And then it struck me, why not use the tags to hold the list of challenges? I've got a longish one and a shorter one. So I could put this one there, on the back of the bigger one, and then this column on the back of the smaller one. So that is my plan. That is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to glue these onto the back of the tags, and possibly because it's getting a little bit late and a little bit chilly, so it's time for me to move out of my craft room, but I will glue it down now quickly and show you, and then tomorrow I'll finish these, which are, as I said, yesterday's challenge, and so I'll finish those and I'll then do today's challenge, which is one color. Okay, so what we've got here now is another page. This is for the one color challenge, but I'm wanting to be able to blend tones of one color. So this is why I'm actually giving this a coat of liquid matte medium, because as you no doubt are aware, it gives you a non-porous surface, so you can smoosh stuff on and smoosh it off again if you don't like it. And it's actually a very nice way of prepping your page especially for something like acrylics. So there we have it. That is now going to dry off, so I'm going to move it. We're multitasking today, by the way, folks. So it's, you know, back and forth. So we're going back now to the tags while this dries off. Tags. Okay, so here we are with the tags. So far, I've added a little bit of braid down here. It's rather pretty. It's incredibly old. I can remember seeing it in my mom's lace box when I was a very, I'd say, preteen. It just kind of goes quite well with the colors on this tag. So I thought, let's use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting it down. You know, there was a green stripe here. So I'm putting it down the green stripe. I'm going to also put it on this tag so that they kind of match. This is turning out to be more fun than I thought it would. So I'm kind of, you know, not so au fait with tags. Not too sure why we need them. And now I'm getting the picture. Here we go. This is going to look quite nice. Then I've also uncovered some labels. So I'm going to be putting labels on. And this is a trick that I discovered. I'm just going to show you guys. There is my little label that says fun, but it was far too long. So what did I do? I cut the ends off, and now I'm going to put them back. I think I want the wrong side there. Here. Let's just glue this down while I'm talking. Makes it happen better. There we go. So you see that makes the label quite a bit shorter. So it will fit. There we go. Now that fits there quite nicely. Okay, so these little labels, this one says encourage fun, which is, that one's going up there. And then on this tag, which is the bigger one, so it has more space, I'm putting that says play together, and that's what's going on there. I rather like the sentiments brought on by these labels, because it's, you know, encourage fun is this one, and then play together is this one. And seeing as how on the back I am going to put our prompts. I'm putting the first 12 prompts on the big one, and the next 11 prompts on the smaller one, and this is going to be where I mark off as I complete each challenge. Now I've just got some, seeing as how this is purple on here, I've got some light purple, I think I've seen people call it sari silk. I have a confession to make about this though. We can buy rugs here that are made with, you know, the warp is the strings going down, let's say, and the weft is the ones that go across. So the warp is a strong thread, and then the weft is actually thin strips of any kind of fabric, any color, and it's all woven together and makes these lovely bright colorful rugs, which I rather enjoy in my house. But one of the ones that I bought was a bit damaged and it started to fall apart. So I took it apart eventually, and the parts that look good to me I have been stashing on one side and using it for things like this. So there we have it. Now these are rather small holes. Let's see if I can get just a little bit of it through the hole, because then I can, there we go, did it, fabulous. Thread that through there. Now I just have to use the tweezers to poke it through. I don't have to use the tweezers to pull the original thread through. Here we go. Here's that one. It's clearer this side. A little bit less glare from the sun. I just don't want to stop and wait for the sun to move today, because I'm just so enjoying myself. Let's pull that little piece off. So there we have it. Tags done. Well, the secret's out, and my one color is obviously green. So while I was waiting for the glare to go away, I carried on applying paint with a makeup sponge onto here. I was hoping that this might dull down the far too shiny mixed liquid matte medium, but it hasn't. So never mind, lesson learned, and I will be getting myself some of the other one that I used in the past, because it turned out so well. So I went through my stash of foliage and green plants and things like that, and this is what I've come up with. I found this one, and it has a rather nice little word attached to the bottom that says inspiration. I am going to, I've got a green ink, so what's this one? This one, oops, sorry, this one's called Retro Dark Green. I'm not sure if this has also got sparkly ink like the other one that I showed you, but it's rather nice for when you're working with green and you want to darken edges, it is rather useful. And I see there's a tiny little piece of white text in that bottom corner because this is out of a gardening magazine. Okay, well that's worked quite nicely. Except I have managed to smear this a bit. Never mind. I'll come back with the dauber and sort that out later. So I've laid this out and I've kind of got a plan. So I'm going to just go ahead and start gluing this down. Good old glue stick. I must admit this does work extremely well. Right, here we go. I'm actually over the moon. I hope I haven't said it before, and I'm repeating myself again, but I'm so excited. I have had so many subscriptions in this last week. It's blowing my mind because, you know, I've been operating since March, and it has crept up kind of slowly, very, very slowly, as I've put up more and more videos. I'm slowly developing a following, but in the last week I have had something like 8 or 9 subscriptions, and I'm so thrilled because, you know, people, we do tend to get a little bit discouraged, and I was kind of thinking to myself, you know, maybe I'm doing the wrong stuff, you know, perhaps that's why I'm not getting so many people following. Maybe it's because I'm not putting up the right things. Perhaps I need to try and find out what I'm doing wrong. And you know, it's like a magical mystery tour. You're never sure if you're doing the right thing or not, are you? But obviously I am now, because it's so encouraging, and it has given me such inspiration and such motivation. This is a copy a sort of reduced in size copy of a painting I did years ago. I can't quite see the date on here. It's something like 2004. It's a slightly bigger size here. Let me check that. Yeah, it's about 2004, 2006 that I did this painting of the Green Man, because I was selling stuff at a little market at some point in my life, and I did a whole lot of interesting paintings and sketches and things, and managed to flog a few. But the ones that I liked the most, I actually scanned in and made copies of, and this was one of them. So I just thought it'd be rather nice to put him up here. Now this one, oopsie, I actually put it slightly under there. There we go. That's where it was. Now I'm going to finish this off. Where have I put it? There it is. It's a little thing that came out of the magazine that I took most of this greenery out of, and it's a little comment. It says, "The power of green. It has now been established that a color can influence human emotions and our feeling of well-being. What happens is that sustained observation of a color can affect the chemistry of the human body, and especially blood pressure. And green is soothing and calming, and is very, very good for us." So there we have it. And there we have it, folks. That is now one color completed. I rather like that. I think it's rather gorgeous. So I hope you like it too. Please click like if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And as always, comments are so much appreciated. They really do inspire me and give me an idea of what people want to see. So until next time, people, stay safe, stay well, and bye-bye.